into the end zone. Touchdown! Hello, everyone, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium, where tonight the Quincy Presidents will host the Chelmsford Lions and the MIA Division II first round of the playoffs here at the stadium. My name is Jonathan Clary. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of QA TV Sports. I'm being joined by Steve Mays. Steve, playoff time here in the city of Quincy. It's been a while for the Presidents to host a playoff game. 2003 is the last time they hosted a playoff game here at the stadium, and there's definitely a lot of excitement this past weekend here at the stadium right now in anticipation of this game.
Yeah, you see them coming out of the locker room right now as they get ready to take the field. It's always special to host a playoff game, but it's no easy task. You know, you got another team that deserves to be here coming in tonight. And look at, Quincy's on a high note. They had a great game last week. We were here, and they believe that they belong here and they believe they can win tonight. But again, it's no easy task, and we'll see how it goes down.
All right, Quincy comes into the game with a record of 6-2. They are the number 7 seed. Chelmsford 4-4. They are the number 10 seed. Chelmsford playing out of the Merrimack Valley Conference. Started the season 1-4, Steve, but won their last 3 games at North Andover, at Westford Academy, and versus Lawrence last week. So coming in with 3 games in a row there for Chelmsford to get into the playoffs and getting things on a hot streak there for the Lions.
Listen, they play a really good schedule. They're a really good team. And, again, they got hot when they had to. They're battle-tested. They got some excellent skill position players. I mean, their numbers are probably double what Quincy are as I look across right there. And I know they have a lot of guys that play just one side of the ball, where most of Quincy's team plays both sides of the ball. So that could pay dividends in the second half if Quincy's starting to wear down and Chelmsford's still fresh.
All right, coming out onto the field are the captains for both teams. Number 2, Jonas Ahl, and number 54, Jacoby Quinn for the Presidents for the coin toss. So what we'll do is we'll go down for the coin toss, and we'll go from there.
You lead your teams and play clean football, make my job a little easier, okay? Gable, you want to call the toss? Okay, I have a coin here where the helmet's the head and the other side the tail. What's your call?
Tails.
Tails is the call. It is a tail.
Defer.
Okay. Chelmsford won the toss and defers their choice to the second half. I presume you want the ball, Jonas? Okay. So which way do you want to go?
We'll go this way.
Go that way. Okay. Go with your backs over there. Come on over here. We'll start the game with Quincy receiving. Have a great game tonight, guys. Have some fun. Have some fun.
Quincy will receive and defend the south.
All right, so Quincy will receive the ball to start the game here at Veterans Memorial Stadium and defend the south end zone. Chelmsford will kick it away and defend the north end zone to start things off here at the stadium again. It's been a long time coming here for the Quincy Presidents to host a home game. Had a fantastic season, did the Presidents. Started off 5-0 to get things going on a big hot streak. The Presidents did, beating Revere, Braintree, Stoughton, New Bedford, and Plymouth South. And then lost 2 games against 2 of the premier teams on the South Shore, Situate and Hanover. Both road games as well. Gave a good fight against those teams, but came out short against them. And then last week beat Pembroke 27-0 to round out the regular season. All right, we're going to pause now for our national anthem. All right, so getting ready to start things off here. Again, first round of the MIAA Division II football tournament. The winner of this game will go to Bishop Feion next weekend, the number 2 seed. Bishop Feion had a bye for the tournament. The top 2 teams in Division II, Catholic Memorial number 1 and Bishop Feion, had byes. On the other side of the bracket, Steve, North Quincy also made the tournament, the number 13 seed, and they have a tough task tonight. They're going to Winchester, the number 4 seed. Winchester's undefeated, so the Raiders have a tough battle up in Winchester, and we'll see what happens for that game, which is going on the same time right now. All right, Patrick McConnell, number 17, will kick it away for the Lions. See number 33, Gavin O'Hare on your screen. O'Hare's had a good season for the Presidents. All right, underway here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Jonas Isle is going to field it at the 10-yard line for Quincy, and he's going to get hit almost immediately by a couple of players. Looked like leading the way there was Joseph Nordegren for the Lions.
Yeah, they came down flying down on that kickoff and looked like they were opening up with some big hits. Chelmsford's definitely ready to go tonight. Quincy High cannot take these guys lightly at all. They're definitely ready to go.
All right, they're going to spot the ball at the 20-yard line. You see the replay here on the return by Ala.
He did a good job holding on to that ball. They were ripping at it.
Actually, make it the 19-yard line where they spot the ball. All right, Quincy comes up. Braden O'Connell, senior quarterback for the Presidents, in the shotgun. Hands things off to get things going here. Great move there by Leo Steinberg, fighting his way forward. He's going to get brought down by Michael Canada, and it'll be a first down for the Presidents up to the 35.
John, there's no doubt about it. If Quincy High is going to win tonight, if they're going to be successful tonight, it is going to be on the back of Leo Steinberg. There's no doubt about it. I said it last week. I've been saying it all year. He is their horse. Now, does Chelmsford have a horse? Of course they do. But if you're looking at it from the President's point of view, for them to be successful tonight, Leo's got to do his thing.
Steinberg's certainly one of the best skill players on the South Shore and has shown it this year as well throughout the entire season. And first and 10 for the Presidents at their own 35. Steinberg again going to the left, trying to turn the corner, gets up to the 40-yard line, and will get hit and brought down. Krista Roachers on the tackle for the Lions.
Yeah, great pursuit by Nate Duggan, too, to clean that up. Because if you've watched any tape of Quincy, you know that Steinberg's not going down on the first hit. So if you think you're a one-man guy that's going to take him down, you're not going to be very successful. So number 21 came after they stood him, and he cleaned it up pretty well.
Actually, they spot him down at the 42-yard line. Second down and 3 now for the Presidents. Play action fake, O'Connell over to the right side, and incomplete. Jalen Parks was the intended receiver.
And it looked like if he just dumped it down to Jonas, he would have had a first down there. But, he was under some good pressure.
Action third down and 4 for the Presidents.
See O'Connell on your screen there with head coach Ed DeWitt. DeWitt, a member of that 2003 playoff team for the Presidents. Second year as the head coach after coaching down in Easton at Oliver Ames for a number of years before that.
Anybody who's listened to us before knows I'm a big Coach DeWitt fan.
A quick pass to Parks out in the flat. Parks trying to make his way forward, and he's going to fight his way. He's going to be just shy of the first down up to the 39-yard line.
John, you have to get the first down right there. Right, he had plenty of room. Right here when he catches it, you just got to turn up. You know you only need a couple yards. Just turn up field and get it. Instead of dancing around, just turn up field and get it. And you put the offense in a tough spot right off the bat.
I said 39, but incorrect. It was 44, and actually he's at the 44 and 3/4 yard line. As you can see, the ball is right just shy of the 45. So the Presidents come out here, 4th and short. Under 10 minutes to go now here in the first quarter. Lions stack up their defensive line.
Go down.
Presidents keep it, and it looks like O'Connell was able to fight his way forward for the first down.
Yep, good job by the Presidents there getting that.
President's first down.
Quincy's best defense tonight might be keeping the ball out of the explosive hands of Chelmsford. If you play a ball control, I mean, we're already at 9.5, and it's moving. You know, if you can keep the ball out of their hands, that's big.
Saw in the replay there, nice push there by the Presidents. Jacoby Quinn, one of the men leading the way in front of O'Connell for the first down. Ball at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. That's Aller, bounced off one tackle, couldn't get away from the second, and it's going to be a loss on the play.
The snap screws up the timing on that whole entire play.
Call it a loss of 2 now, back to the 44-yard line.
2nd and 12 for the Presidents.
Aller again on the carry. Over to the right side, trying to fight his way forward, was trying to stretch the play out, but nice job by the Lions. Defensive line kept following him, wouldn't let Aller turn the corner, and maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
This is where Chelmsford wants Quincy High to be. 3rd and long. This is not their bread and butter right here.
All right, they give Aller 2 yards on the play, so it brings up now 3rd and 10. Like you said, Steve, long conversion here for the Presidents. All right, Connell back to pass, looking, gets hit as he throws, and incomplete. Was trying to go downfield, but again, hit as he was trying to throw. Jack Myers comes in there for the Lions, and the Presidents will be forced to punt.
He ran a good route, and he was open, but, I mean, the right defensive end just went right around the tackle. I don't even think he touched him. He went right around him, and he hit him, and just caused a bad throw. I mean, he goes right around him. It's like he was standing still. The kid's open.
And Quincy was lucky that it wasn't intercepted there as well. There were 2 Lions, just couldn't get to it. All right, O'Connell kicks it deep, and it's going to take a Lions bounce, but maybe
no
only an
bounce,
extra
right?
yard. Yeah, no bounce.
bounce.
And they're going to spot it down at the 28-yard line.
John, tonight is not the night where you can be an average player. I mean, you can't let that guy just go around you like that. You have to do something.
All right, so the Lions will take over with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
Trips to the bottom of the screen.
Anthony Moriello is the quarterback for the Lions. Was trying to get the Presidents jump off sides there. Presidents hold steady. RPO, Moriello's going to keep it himself, trying to get to the outside, and nothing happening there. Great job there by number 1, Leo Steinberg for the Presidents, following him the entire way, and it's going to be a loss of 3 yards on the play.
So we saw a similar offense last week, and I told you this last week. Whatever your job is, that's who you got to stay with. If your job is the quarterback, you got to stay with him no matter what. If he gives it, he gives it. But if he pulls it, you got to be there. Same thing with the running back. If your responsibility is running back, you got to stay with him. If he gives it, great. If he pulls it, great. It is what it is. It's a responsibility gap defense.
Spot the ball back to the 25-yard line. Flag thrown on the play. Moriello looking, and he's just going to throw the ball away.
Do you decline this and go 3rd and 10, or do you push him back? 3rd and 12, or do you push him back?
Okay, he's declining it.
Illegal shift against the Lions.
Decline.
Motion, offense, penalties declined, 3rd down.
The penalty is declined.
All right, so it will be 3rd and about 13, call it 14 for the Lions.
I think this is where they got to watch out for number 1, Gable Gray.
Moriel looking to pass.
Right on
Goes
cue.
downfield, and Gray catches it. Make sure he stayed in bounds, and he did. It'll be a 1st down for the Lions up to the 49-yard line. Great catch there by Gable Gray, just like you said, Steve.
I wish playing the lottery was that easy. Good Lord. I told you who they were going to throw it to, John.
Well, and Gray did a great job. He came back to the play and then shifted back as Moriello was running
Wait a
toward him.
minute.
Oh, and there's a flag
minute.
thrown on the play.
Somebody cheated. Oh, boy.
We can see the Lions coming back to the line of scrimmage, so this is going to be against Chelmsford.
Eligible receiver downfield, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
All right, so another 5-yard penalty against Chelmsford. That should move it back to the 20-yard line. So make it 3rd and about 18 now for the Lions.
John, you can't get beat by the same guy back-to-back plays. He's dragging across the middle.
Moriel pass is complete down the far sideline. And it'll be a 1st down. Pass was complete to Nolan Smith, junior wide receiver.
What do we got going on here?
And there's a play for the Presidents down on the field. See if he can get off. And he's going to hustle off the field. But you saw on the replay there, great catch by Nolan Smith to pick up the 1st down. All the way up to the 44-yard line go the Lions. Handoff up the middle goes to Sky DeJesus. And DeJesus will get up to the President's 46-yard line, make it the 47.
Well, if you're Chelmsford and you can open it up by throwing it a little bit, it's going to loosen those linebackers up. It's going to get them on their heels. They're not going to be able to play downhill. And they're going fast here. We got some tempo.
Again, DeJesus on the carry, gets across the 45-yard line up to the 44, and will be a 1st down for the Lions.
Result of that play is the Lions' 1st down.
And they're going to spot it all the way up to the 42-yard line. 5-yard gain there for the Lions. 1st and 10 now.
Ball be placed at the 42-yard line of the Presidents.
President show blitz coming in.
Nice.
And great job there by
Very
number
good.
51, Matt Powers.
Very good. Great timing right there. Great timing. Great call also. We saw that a lot last week, John. They brought it a lot. They blitzed almost every single down last week.
See on the replay as Powers just goes right through and brought them down basically together, and coming in to help clean things up was Aidan McElhaney for the Presidents. Spot the ball back at the 47-yard line.
There's something there that I didn't see live, but I did see it on replay. There was a little pushing and shoving there at some point in time during that play. Quincy cannot get called for 15-yard penalties tonight for unnecessary roughness. They have to be smarter than that. Here he comes again.
Moriel pass is great. Great catch there down the near sideline by number 21, Nate Duggan, a captain for the Lions.
We're
and it'll be a
close.
big 1st down up to the 33-yard line. See here in the replay, and basically a one-handed catch there by Duggan. Turns the corner and finally gets brought out of bounds by Gavin O'Hare.
Great catch. Great throw as well. Can't take anything away from the quarterback there. That was a great ball.
2-yard line. Result of that play is Lions' 1st down.
All right, 1st down for the Lions up to the 32-yard line. And Moriel keeps it. He gets brought down there. Looks like coming up was Jonas Aller on the sack.
They're not having much success with the RPO. They're having plenty of success with a pass. So they got to be careful here.
So nice job there by Olive to come in from the side.
Quincy needs to give some cushion, but not too much.
Second down and 15 now for the Lions.
Here's that same sprint out.
And Moriel's pass is incomplete. It was intended for Nate Duggan.
Intended for number 21, Nate Duggan. They bring up third down.
Third and long now for Chelmsford.
We need a big pass rush here. We need a huge pass rush right here. Screen.
And hit up the screen. It gets
Nice
knocked
job.
down.
Nice job.
Jacoby Quinn knocks that pass down, was right there, and it'll bring up fourth down for the Presidents.
I'll tell you what. Give the ref the ball back. I mean, this was wide open, John. There was nobody there. They did a great job setting it up. Chelmsford did a tremendous job setting that play up. But, they got their hands up and they knocked it down.
Yeah, that was easily going to be a 20, 25-yard gain for Chelmsford on that last play. But thanks to a nice play by Quinn, one of the captains for the Presidents, to knock that ball down.
He's a big boy.
Chelmsford has to kick it away. High kick there. Fair catch is called for by the Presidents. Oh, no, excuse me, no fetch catch. I thought he had his hand up in the air.
That's Leo Steinberg, John. He ain't fair catch.
So Steinberg will bring the ball up to the 20, maybe the 21. That's where the Presidents will start.
Good stop by Quincy there after giving up a couple first downs and nice passes. They did a good job stopping them. Four minutes. That's it.
All right, ball at the 20-yard line. Presidents will stop their second offensive possession at the 4-minute mark. O'Connell pass into the flat to Steinberg. Steinberg still on his feet and is going to lose a few yards. Actually, excuse me, that's number 4, Jalen Parks, on the catch.
He did a much better job that time of catching it and getting upfield. Much better job.
And you can see Parks there. Cut it back up inside.
Could have went for a 3 or 4 yard loss, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
he
was
did a
able
good
to
job.
spun out of the tackle. Looks like they mark him down at the 23. Second down and 7. Steinberg gets out of harm's way, and nice tackle there by the Lions.
Here's Steinberg on the carry
Positive
to
yards.
the 25.
See here, Steinberg starts over to the left and goes all the way across the other side of the field, and number 21, Nate Duggan, comes up to make the tackle. Ball at the 25. Third down and about 5 for the Presidents. O'Connell trying to get Lions to jump off sides.
Good job.
And O'Connell kept it himself.
Oof.
And maybe a gain of 1 or 2 on the play. Actually, no, they're going to say his knee was down at the line of scrimmage. You can see here. And looked like he might have fallen down on a Lions player, but they're going to say no gain. All right, so the Presidents will have to kick it away here on 4th and 5.
21, Nate Duggan, deep to receive for the Lions.
Nate Duggan back to get the kick for the Lions. And he's going to field it at his own 40-yard line. Great pursuit by
Wow.
the Presidents. 3 players down there to bring down Duggan immediately.
That's a big move by Duggan right there, catching that. If he lets that bounce, it could still be rolling. So he knew he was going to get hit hard, but he bit down his mouthpiece a little bit and he took it. Right here. That could just keep going, but he knew he was going to get hit. And with only 90 seconds left in the first quarter, they've only had 1 possession. I mean, not that Quincy's had 4 or 5, right? But I mean, this is
It's gone by quick, yeah.
keeping the ball out of their hand. It could be the best remedy for Quincy tonight.
Joseph McNeil, Ben Vines, and Malcolm McMurrow down there on the coverage for the Presidents on that punt. Again, ball at the 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Powers showing blitz again. Can't get through this time. Pass is complete. And it looks like it was complete to Nolan Smith, and it'll be a 1st down.
To number 12, that's Nolan Smith.
Steinberg coming in from the safety position to bring him down. Otherwise, it would have been even more of a gain there for the Lions.
46-yard line of the Presidents.
Moriel looking to pass.
Good job by Quincy holding their ground.
All right, was passing downfield, incomplete, was looking for Duggan. Nice coverage there by number 33 for the Presidents. That's Gavin O'Hare, the junior.
When that quarterback presses the line like that, he's looking for that corner to come up and then dump it right over his head like they did to Gray on that first drive. And the Quincy kid held his ground. He did a really good job. The rest of the defense pursued. They got a good stop out of it.
Second down and 10. 59 seconds to go in the first quarter. Moriello pass over to Nolan Smith. Smith trying to make a couple men miss.
Pass is complete.
And he's going to get up to the President's 40-yard line.
Nolan Smith across the 40.
Looking at what, 3rd and 2-ish? 3rd and 3?
And we'll see where they mark him down. And they do say at the 40-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and 4.
They're going
For
quick.
Chelmsford.
They're going quick again.
Three receivers to the left of Anthony Moriello, senior quarterback, one of the captains as well, and the Presidents will jump off sides, and that'll be a free 1st down for Chelmsford.
Results in a 1st down.
Against the Presidents. 5-yard penalty will result in a Lion 1st down. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line of the Presidents.
All right, the clock will wind here. 15 seconds to go. First down for the Lions. Moriel's pass is incomplete. Was looking for Duggan, and Duggan just couldn't bring it in.
Hit him in a bad spot, right in the hands.
Pass intended for number 21, Nate Duggan. Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Pass goes incomplete with 4 seconds left, so bring up 2nd down and 10.
They have been going to Duggan a lot. He's a good player.
And off up the middle, De Jesus. Still fighting his way forward. He's going to have the 1st down. And
It's the end of the quarter.
everyone in blue is saying they have the ball, but
They
the
came.
officials are.
They came out of it with. They came out of the pile with the ball, but I believe the official pointed to the ground right away, meaning that he was down.
Switch ends. There is no score.
And
Yeah, I mean,
too tough to tell on that, but it looks like he was down. But so either way, the Lions pick up the 1st down on that last play of the first quarter, and the teams will move down the north end of the field, scoreless after the first quarter here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. I encourage you to log on to Quincy Access TV's website at qatv.org for program schedules, membership information, video on demand, live streaming, and more. So again, qatv.org. Next week, we'll not too sure if we'll be here at the stadium or not. Depends on how Quincy does and how North does.
I can't imagine Quincy will have another game here, whether they win or lose. Well, if they win,
That's
they're
it.
on the road.
Yeah,
that's
if
for
they
sure.
win, they're definitely on the road. If they lose,
And if
yeah,
they lose, they've had 2 in a row. North has been on the road twice. So, yeah, I would say I get the week off.
So we'll see what happens for the next week. But of course, we'll be here on Thanksgiving morning, November
Ooh.
27th.
Okay.
Now I have your
Okay,
attention.
here
Now
we
I have
go.
your attention.
Can you hear me now?
We'll talk about more Thanksgiving in just a little bit.
Quarterback Keith.
Anthony Morello keeps it himself, running up the middle of the field. And he's got to get up to about the 13-yard line before he gets pushed back by the Presidents. We'll see where they spot his forward progress.
Good trap blocking up front by the offensive lineman. And he just followed their block.
And it looks like they're going to give him up to about the 11-yard line.
Not first and goal, first and 10.
Oh, yeah, so they do give him the 11. So like I said, 1st and 10 from the 11. De Jesus on the carry for the Lions. Great move
what
there
a
over to the right
move.
side up to the 5-yard
What
line.
a move.
And he reaches for the end zone. We'll see if they give it to him. No, he's going to be down at the 1-yard line.
First and goal now, but what a move. Faked inside and then bounced it outside and used his speed to get to the corner. I mean, he's basically stopped here, plants his foot, and then gets to the outside.
All right, so great move there.
It looks like Chelmsford's brought in the big boys.
All right, 1st and goal from the 1 now for the Lions. Handoff up the middle, and Joseph Nordegren goes in for the touchdown. See here in the replay, Nordegren had an open hole to go through, and he took it. And gets,
Offensive line did a great job there.
all right, Patrick McConnell, senior kicker for the Lions, lines up for the extra point. And this is going to be
Addition to the
against
goal.
the Presidents,
We play the try.
and that's
They're
going to have
going
the
for 2.
Lions go for 2.
They're going to go for 2.
All right, so the Lions now going to go for the 2-point conversion again at the 1-yard line. You see Anthony Moriello, the quarterback, on your screen. All right, same formation the Lions used on the 1-yard touchdown run. They bring it out again. They give it to Nordegren again as well, and this time he will not get in. Great job there. Will Cannon, number 44, was able to hold him up before the rest of the team came, so the Presidents were able to stop the 2-point conversion. But nonetheless, Chelmsford leads 6-0 with 10:49 left to go here in the second quarter.
That could be a huge stop there, John. I mean, you can't win with a 0 on the board anyway, so you have to score. But now you're an extra point away from having the lead. Not that I think the game will end 7-6, but it's a possibility, isn't it?
Well, the Presidents come up where they need to there on that one. So again, 6-0 Chelmsford.
Presidents need a good answer and a good drive here. I'd put the ball back in Leo's hands and let him chew up the ground a little bit.
Number 17, Patrick McConnell will kick off for the Lions. Deep to receive, to result.
All right, McConnell will kick it away for the Lions. And Ala fields it at his 6-yard line. Knee almost went down. Was very careful there. Was able to get up there. Ala will bring it back to the 21-yard line.
The President's first attempt.
All right, 1st and 10 now for the Presidents at their own 21-yard line.
Wildcat.
So that's Ala that's going to take the snap for the Presidents.
I don't think he'll be passing, Sean. I could be wrong.
And no, he fakes the handoff. He's going to run it himself and trying to fight his way forward up to the 25-yard line. And that's where Ala will be marked down.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We got some laundry out there, John. I've been very critical of the Presidents this year with 15-yard penalties, but it doesn't look like it's on them. They always find themselves in the... Oh, wow. He put a knee in his back.
15-yard penalty results in a first down.
All right, so a personal foul against the Lions, and it'll be a 15 yards and a first down. All right, so all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's big. That's a big field flip right there. Wow. Now you can't give it back, right? You can't go offside. You can't have a hold. You can't give that back.
All right, Connell gives it to Ala. Ala somehow sneaks through there. Looked like he was going to get hit behind the line of scrimmage. Was able to sneak through that little hole, and we'll get up to the 44.
Great run by Jonas right there. Tremendous run by Jonas. You remember, John, Jonas is a junior, right? I mean, in a senior-led backfield quarterback in Leo, he's just a junior. Good crowd here at Veterans tonight, too, which is great. I mean, I know you guys see the Chelmsford side over there, which showed up, but Quincy's got a lot of people here tonight. It's a good crowd. Great for the city.
2nd down and 6. Steinberg trying to get to the outside, gets up across 45. Great tackle
Great
there.
tackle.
Nolan Smith, and a flag thrown on the play.
Holding.
Tackled by number 12, Nolan Smith.
It's a late
Number
call.
2, allow him to turn the...
It's a late call. Do you decline it?
Holding, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
No, they pushed him back. You can't give it back.
Will place the ball on the 34-yard line for Presidents. 2nd and 6, 16.
All right, 2nd and long now for the Presidents.
No, boy.
Connell gets it to Steinberg. Steinberg does a nice job
Oh, what
here.
a great move. Another one.
Couple of great moves there by Leo Steinberg. Gets up to the 42-yard line. Looked like it might have been a loss for the Presidents on that play, but Steinberg does his magic, as you'll see here in the replay.
Could have been a pick. I mean, number 10 was right there. Michael Canada was right there. He could have picked that. And then Leo just went to work. 3rd and manageable. Still long, but now way more manageable than what they had.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 8 now. Presidents need to get to midfield for the first down. Olive, the man in motion.
Give it to him.
O'Connell looking for Olive down the field, and it is tipped and incomplete.
Pass intended for number 2.
Krista Roaches came up there and was able to tip that ball away.
They'll bring up 4th down.
Olive was double covered.
7.
Steinberg's open there. Who else is that? McMorrow's open. Kid took a shot.
Number 8, Wayne O'Connell. Back to punt for the Presidents.
So nice play by the Lions to tip that ball away. It brings up 4th down for the Presidents, and O'Connell will come in to kick it away. High kick. And it's going to bounce, and the Presidents will down it at the 32.
Ball's recovered once again by number 30.
It looked like it was going well there. They had the penalty. They had a couple good runs. And they just kind of gave it back with the holding, and that's the way it goes.
All right, so the Lions will take over now on their own 32-yard line. 7:56 to go here in the second quarter, and they are on top 6-0. All right, Anthony Moriello leads the team out. He's in the shotgun, fakes the handoff. And he's going to keep it himself. Was
Good job.
rolling. Nice coverage downfield by the Presidents. But ends up being a nice gain there for the Lions as well.
Yeah, I think it's good overall. I think it's good all around, right? So Quincy doesn't commit and step up, so he throws it over their heads. And he does a good job of pressing the line, and then just getting what he can. Good football play all around.
I call it the 36-yard line where Moriello went out of bounds.
Ball's placed at the 36-yard line. 2nd and 6 for the line.
Here come the Presidents.
Hand off of De Jesus, and big first down there for the Lions as De Jesus keeps his feet moving, gets all the way up to the 50-yard line. First down for the Lions.
They caught him in a blitz. They trapped underneath him, and then De Jesus put his head down and ran hard. He got 7 or 8 extra yards there. That a great run.
First and 10 now for the Lions. Play action fake. Pass is complete to Gable Gray. And he's going to get across the 45-yard line. See, they spot him now at the 43.
How,
Pickup of 7. 2nd and 3.
how can you be a senior and tap yourself out of the game? Oh, boy.
Number 2, slide to Jesus.
All right, De Jesus again on the carry. Gets up to the 40-yard line. Should be enough for a first down, and it is.
They're going to call it Lions first down. Ball will be placed at the 40-yard line of the Presidents. 1st and 10 Lions.
Quincy High has to find a way to stop the momentum right here. Chelmsford has all the momentum right now. Quincy High has to find a way to slow it down. Turnover, sack, something.
RPO, nice job there
Okay.
by the Presidents.
All right.
Stay with the quarterback
Good
the
job.
entire time. Jalen Parks comes up to make the play along
Good
with
job
Adam
by
McElhaney.
Parks right there. RPO has not been successful for Chelmsford tonight.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd down and 11. Five and a half minutes to go here in the quarter. Pass down the middle of the field, picked off by the Presidents. Jonas Aller on the interception.
Run to the open field. Kid not into people.
Flag thrown on the play. So we'll see what happens here. Aller with a pickoff, though. That will stand.
Put your helmet on, son. Great job stepping in and breaking on that route. What happened there? I don't understand. I don't know what the flag was. Blocking the back?
Penalty from the spot of the foul, 1st down Quincy.
Where was the block in the back? Yeah, whatever. Told you we needed a turnover, John's a big pick right there. Come on.
All right, so with the penalty, they spot the ball back at the 25-yard line, but the Presidents will have it.
Now that you got the momentum back again, you gotta pound it a little bit. You gotta go to your horse. Time to go to work.
Handoff up the middle for the Presidents. And
take a couple from
I'll
Steinberg.
say maybe
that's
2
fine.
or 3 there.
That's fine.
And they're going to spot it at the 28. Four and a half minutes to go in the quarter.
Good ball.
Pass complete. JoJo Ham on the catch.
Down.
And with forward progress, they're going to spot him up to the 34-yard line, just shy of the 1st down.
Good route, good ball, good read.
Close to the line again. Will be 3rd and 1 for the Presidents.
All right, so big 3rd down here for the Presidents, 3rd and 1. As we tick under 4 minutes to go now in the quarter.
Last time they were under center, they went quarterback sneak.
This time they're going to give it to Steinberg, and this is going to be very close, Steve. It looks like they're going to have the
That
first
spot's
down.
first down for the spot.
The line judge comes up and actually spots him at the 36-yard line, so it'll be a first down for the Presidents.
That Chelmsford coach is not happy. He's on the other side of the numbers.
Result of that play is the Presidents' first down.
O'Connell looking, and he's got the run it himself, gets up to the 40-yard line. Slid down at the 40. They're looking for a flag, but
Yeah, just get in the huddle. Can't let that stuff get to you, because then you retaliate, right? Was it a little late? It was, but what are you going to do?
Progress to the 40. That'll be 2nd and 6 for
And it was-
the Presidents.
a light hit. It wasn't like he came in.
Yeah, ain't blast.
Yeah, exactly. So
Now we'll turn around and do it to them and get 15 going back down.
2nd down and 6.
Good run.
Nice job here.
Go ahead,
Aller
Jonas.
On the near sideline. Try to stay in
Good
bounds.
job.
Great job here
Good
by
job.
Jonas Aller all the way up to the 31-yard line.
Keep hitting it up underneath them. Good job by the offensive line. Jonas found the gap that he needed. Took it outside.
Ball was spotted at the 31-yard line of the Lions. 1st and 10, Presidents.
And they're going to say he stayed in bounds, was tackled in bounds. The clock will continue to tick.
What?
Broken play
There's a
here.
hold.
O'Connell has, and we're going to have a.
There's a hold.
Braden O'Connell calls his own number. There is a penalty marker. Will be against the President.
So again, a hold against the Presidents.
And it was as clear as day.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Repeat first down.
But that play was doomed from the beginning, right? O'Connell was faking to somebody who wasn't there. Then he just had to tuck it and run because it wasn't there. That was doomed from the beginning.
All right, as we come up on 2 minutes to go, both teams have their full complement of timeouts, 3 apiece. Steinberg to the right, Ala to the left of O'Connell. He's going to pass instead, and he has Ala over to the left side. Ala, nice cut back up into the middle of the field. Stolency ball comes loose,
boy.
and Ala luckily jumps on it.
Jonas Ala loses the ball, but
And it's going to be back to the 33-yard line, and Coach Ed DeWitt calls a timeout.
Good call. Good timeout for multiple reasons right there. Makes a good cut here. You know, you have to be aware, right? You have to be aware.
timeout Quincy.
All right, so they spot the ball again back at the 33-yard line. 1:32 left to go here in the half. And again, Presidents have called timeout.
I mean, they got themselves back to 2nd and 13. Not the best, but you're in a manageable situation again.
Actually, it looks like they spot the ball at the 34-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd down and about 13 to go for Quincy. And Quincy caught a huge break there as Al was able to jump on that fumble. Nate Duggan was right there as well for the Lions. And if Al hadn't gotten it, it would have been Lions ball. All right, Connell, pass.
Good ball.
Wide open, Jonas Ala at the 20-yard line, now at the 15. Nice turn there by Ala. Gets out of bounds at the 10.
Good job.
Jonas Ala.
Great call. Great ball right there.
7-yard line.
He sucked the linebackers up, and then he just dumped it right behind him.
Result of that play is the President's first down.
They stop the clock with 1 minute and 24 seconds to go. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 10 now for the Presidents. A handoff for the Presidents.
Timeout.
And gain of 1 or 2 on the play.
They're not calling a timeout.
2nd and goal to go from the 10.
Looks like that was Jalen Parks on the carry that time for the Presidents.
Yes.
And they're going to say no gain, actually.
Ball's on the 8-yard
Excuse me, 2-yard gain.
2nd and goal.
Connell looking, fires into the
Good
end zone.
ball.
Pass complete, trying to get to the end
Get
zone.
upfield.
and
Get upfield.
JoJo Ham fighting his way.
Timeout. Timeout.
And Ham's down at the 1-yard line.
line to gain.
32 seconds to go. And as you said, Steve, the Presidents call timeout.
Good ball right here. Again, good read.
Presidents.
They put it in the middle, and you know, JoJo tried to get it in there. And he did everything he could. He fought to get in there.
Joseph Nordegren had to put a big hit on
There's
him, but he's
11 white bodies around him, right? White jerseys around him. Where's the push from the blue guys? You need the Philly tush push right there. So John, this is what playoff football should be like, right?
Definitely.
Close game, one-score game. Every play counts. Good strategy here by Coach DeWitt. Not to take away from Coach Peterson over on the other side. You know, he's got some good strategy going too. When to call a timeout, when not to call it. It's not a meaningless game where, yeah, just let it run out, do whatever. This is good football right there.
All right, Presidents have one more timeout to call if they need it. Full house backfield now for Quincy. They give it to Steinberg, and he goes in for the touchdown. On the second effort, Leo Steinberg punches it in, and we're tied at 6.
Got to go to the horse.
Watch there, he gets held up initially, fights his way forward to the right, and goes in for the score.
Great job by Steinberg right there. Tremendous run.
All right, O'Connell for the point after attempt. Ryan Beach to hold.
Oh,
and a flag's thrown before we even get going.
What are we doing here?
Legal substitution? Illegal substitution.
Legal substitution against the Presidents.
So that's going to push it back 5 yards.
It's all right.
O'Connell's been pretty strong on extra point attempts this year.
Just kick it. It'll be all right. Come on.
5-yard penalty. We'll repeat the try.
All right, good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is good. Great kick there by O'Connell, no doubt about that one. And the Presidents now take a 1-point lead, 7-6, with 27 seconds to go here in the first half.
John, don't think for 1 second that this half is over yet.
Not at
all.
all.
If you fall asleep on this team, it'll be 14-7 real fast. They got plenty of game breakers on that other side. Be interesting to see if they kick it deep here or not. Remember, Chelmsford gets the ball to start the second half as well. So you don't want to give up something big knowing that you got to come out and do it again. He did kick it deep.
All right, it's going to be fielded at about the 17-yard line by Chelmsford. Big hole here, flag thrown on the play. Nate Duggan running down the sideline. And we'll finally get tackled at the 31-yard line, but a flag is thrown. I believe this is going to be coming back. Duggan did a great job, had a running start as he caught that ball. And again, came down the President's sideline, but a flag is thrown at the President's at the Lions' 41-yard line.
Yeah, way back on the other side. And if it's a spot of foul, it's huge. You're talking a 40, 50-yard difference in field position here.
Holding on the return team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
From the spot of the foul.
First down.
That's huge.
Penalty will be applied from the spot of the foul.
So the Presidents will catch a big break there as the ball will go back to the 31-yard line, the 30-yard line.
Going to place the ball at the 30-yard line. First and 10 Lions.
So 1st and 10 for Chelmsford at their own 30-yard line. "17 seconds to go now here in the half. All right, Moriello keeps it himself up the middle, and will get brought down at the 36.
That's the half. Coach Peterson's not going to bang a timeout. We're going into the break.
And that is what happens. So the
Good
Presidents
first
come
half.
out here. Exciting first half of football, as you said, Steve, and they come out and get a big interception. They take that turnover and go down the field to put 7 points on the board, and they'll go into the locker room with a 1-point lead, 7-6 at the half.
Great half of football on both sides, right? Great half of football on both sides. And this is what playoff football is all about.
All right, well, Steve and I will take a timeout here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we're back for second half coverage in just one moment. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're at the half. The Presidents lead the Chelmsford Lions by a score of 7-6. Real quick, we'll run down some stats. First for the Presidents, Braden O'Connell, the quarterback, 7 of 10 passing for 57 yards. Leo Steinberg has 31 yards rushing and a touchdown. Jonas Alla with 37 yards on 5 attempts. Alla also has 1 catch for 24 yards. Jalen Parks has 2 catches. Jojo Ham has 2 catches. And Leo Steinberg 1 catch as well. For the Lions, quarterback Anthony Moriello, 5 of 11 passing for 63 yards. Sky De Jesus has 55 yards rushing, and Moriello has 16 yards. Joseph Nordigan, 1 yard for 1 touchdown. Gable Gray had 1 catch for 7 yards. Nolan Smith, 3 catches for 41. And Nate Dugan, our friends from Chelmsford, helped us out with that one. Nate Dugan, 1 catch for 15 yards.
I thought you were going to tell me how many hot chocolates were sold in the concession stand at halftime. I thought you would come with a real stat.
57 and a half. Someone
Yeah.
spilled some of it. So.
Onside.
Onside kick.
Pick up the Presidents.
And I don't think it went the
3
10
yards.
yards there. Yeah.
Onside kick.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
All right. So, well, Chelmsford will start. Looks like they're going to stay on the President's 47-yard line.
I'm not saying that's the worst idea in the world, right? I mean, they kicked it off before the half, and the kid almost took it back, right? It's not the worst idea in the world. Try to come out and surprise them. We wish it went a little further, but maybe it bounced off this kid. No. It's all right.
Yeah.
Good try. Now we're going to play a little deep.
Malcolm McMurrow was over there, and like I said, it bounced at the 45 and then just went horizontal. It didn't keep going straight up the field. So Presidents give it a whirl there, and Anthony Moriello is now going to take it for the Lions, and he's going to get up to the 43.
John, I want you to know that McMorrow is the center on the basketball team.
He is.
He is. Heck of a player. Heck of a player.
So McMurrow's been a 4-year varsity player. I do know that.
I hear nothing but good things about the kid.
Second down and 6. Pass over into the flat is complete to Dugan. And he's going to be right at the yard marker. We'll see if they give it to him. And it looks like they do. It'll be a first down for the Lions.
Fresh set of downs. We're going to start again.
And it will be a Lions first down. Ball's at the 37-yard line of the Presidents.
They bring some pressure.
Pass is complete. Dylan Quinn with the ball.
Oh, that's a great job defensively right there. Tremendous job by the defense right there.
Yeah, Nate Allen coming up to make the tackle for the Presidents.
I'll tell you, John, one of the toughest things to do is tackle guys in open field. That was a great job. If he misses that tackle, Presidents are in trouble.
First time we've called Quinn's name here tonight. Last week he had a 54-yard touchdown pass in the win against Lawrence. De Jesus on the carry, trying to fight his way forward for a couple yards, and he does. Call up to the 32.
3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. It's a big down right there. This is a huge down right there. Probably 2 down territory, right?
I would think
I
so.
got a punt from there.
Our Lions getting the call in from the sideline, and Moriello gets things set up.
Get a little pressure on them.
They hold off. Pass is complete, and he evades one tackle and pick up the first down. That was Nolan Smith. Ball comes loose, and the Presidents recover. Still didn't see a sign. There it is. President's ball. Finally, the officials say. So Smith was able to catch it here.
The initial tackle was missed. They punched it out there. Leo missed the initial tackle, but the Presidents punched it out. That's how you turn the half over, John. When you're kicking to start the second half and you got to play defense, that's how you turn it over right there. Great job by the Presidents. Now you need to drive again.
All right, so the Presidents will start on their own 15-yard line. 9:32 now to go here. Hand off for the Presidents on first down. Getting up to the 19-yard line is Jonas Alla.
Although I said at the beginning of the game it had to be a steady dose of Leo, Coach DeWitt, who knows the game of football and knows his stuff, is giving us a steady diet of Jonas tonight.
McConnell goes under center. Hand it up the middle for Alla again. Alla fighting his way forward and
first down.
Gets up to the 25-yard line. Maybe make it to 26. Either way, first down. And they do spot him down at the 26-yard line. And you see O'Connell and head coach Ed DeWitt.
Any other scores tonight, John? Know of any?
I'll have to see if I can find the anything from North Quincy.
You're a good guy, John. You're a good dude.
Handoff goes up the middle. And Leo Steinberg gets a yard on the play. Let's see if they give him to the 27 or not. Looks like a one yard gain.
I mean, I'll Google it if you want, John, if that's what has to happen.
No, well, Steve's referring to up on the North Shore where North Quincy is facing off against Winchester.
Well, let's just focus right here at the stadium. You know what I mean? Come on. Let's not.
Well,
Last time I said something, I got in trouble.
Well,
Not that I care.
Winchester is leading North Quincy at the half. We'll put it at that.
Oh, boy. John will be running for office in just a few years.
O'Connell trying to look downfield. Pass got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Looked like it was tipped there by Jack Myers, one of the senior captains for the Lions.
They had Jonas in the flat, too. He ran a good route. They had him in the flat.
All right, so it's 3rd down and 9 now for the Presidents on their own 27-yard line. Kind of looking, and it is almost intercepted. Dangerous pass there. Was looking for Malcolm McMurrow, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, that was very dangerous. Very, very dangerous pass. And it looks like it hit in the back. Yeah, okay.
Looked like it was Myers again coming in there for the Lions.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. Hit his throwing arm. Can't put it solely on the kid.
All right, so O'Connell will go back to kick it away for the Presidents.
It's too bad. You get a turnover on downs, and you really can't move the ball.
And kick is going to go out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
At about the 42-yard line. First and 10 Lions. Official line of scrimmage is the 47 of Quincy. First and 10 Lions.
All right, 7:03 left to go here in the third quarter. First round of the MIAA Division II football playoff. Number 7 seed Quincy and the number 10 seed Chelmsford. Winner will go on to play Bishop Feehan next week at Bishop Feehan.
Oh, another great move.
De Jesus, couple of great moves, like you said there. Steve's pick up the first down and more, still on his feet, and will finally get across the 30-yard line for the Lions.
That was a great, great move. He put his foot in the ground a couple times there and made guys miss. One there. There's another one right there. Tremendous run by De Jesus. We got a president down there. Looks like Aiden Cordero, if I'm not mistaken. Big old 71.
All right, so it is Cordero, and he gets up. Hopefully he's okay. Cordero, a junior lineman for the Presidents.
All right, 1st and 10. Just got to reset it here.
All right, spot the ball at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 Lions for the
Moriel keeps it himself right up the middle of the field. Gets across the 25-yard line to about the 23.
What Quincy does well is they are ripping up the ball every time. And sometimes they get it, but sometimes they give up on the tackle and it costs them 2 or 3 yards. They are ripping at it every single time.
De Jesus on the carry, flag thrown on the play. De Jesus back to the line of scrimmage, but we'll see. Looks like this might be coming back.
Offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
So I'll bring it back to the 33-yard line.
2nd and 12, 2nd and 13.
Yeah, we'll call it 13. No, we'll call it 12. It's at that 32 where they spot it.
That'll make it 2nd and 12 for the Lions.
Oh,
And ball carrier slips. Presidents
lucky.
get a break there as De Jesus had some
lucky
open
there.
space, but again, slipped on the field. And see where they spot him down at the 30. So back to the original line of scrimmage, go the Lions, 3rd down and 10.
Quincy's got to squeeze on those counter plays. You see a guard and a tackle pulling away from you, you got to squeeze down. That counter's coming, you got to squeeze down. Defensive end is there so he doesn't get hooked on a bootleg or something like that. If you're a D tackle and your guy goes away, you got to squeeze down.
Moriel
Pressure.
looking down the side of the field, and it is caught at the 10-yard line at
man.
the 5, and
Touchdown.
see, touchdown Lions. Gable Gray on the reception.
Thought I gave the scouting report before the game that Gray was the guy.
And it looked like the Presidents went for the interception there to knock that ball away. And just missed it, and Gray goes in for the score.
Yeah, Jonas went for the pick there, went to knock it down instead of keeping the guy in front and making the tackle. And listen, you can't get upset at that, because if he makes the play, he's the hero and the place goes crazy. But every hero has a goat, right? I mean, every good play has a bad play. It's just the way it goes. A kid tried to make a play, you really can't fault him for it.
Dugan goes in motion. Looking over,
No.
and it is incomplete. Gray couldn't hold on to the catch for the 2-point conversion. So Chelmsford will now have a 5-point lead, 12-7 with 4:49 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, John, I don't think you can fault the kid for that, right? You can say, play back and let him catch it and make the tackle, but kid's trying to make a play. You're in a playoff game. He's that kind of player. He lays out for it and gives you everything he has. He came up a little short. It was a good ball. It was a good ball. It was a good catch.
Now, instead of the interception, he really just went to knock the ball down
Yeah.
and prevent the catch there.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get some kind of return here. Remember, we went onside, so they can do it too.
A short high kick there by Patrick McConnell. Fielded by Del Wright for the Presidents. Still on his feet, trying to move his way forward. Gets across to 40 to the 42.
That was fielded by number 6, Darrell Wright, for the Presidents. He carries the ball up to the 43-yard line, where Quincy will go on offense. 1st and 10, Presidents.
All right, spot the ball at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 now for Quincy. Braden O'Connell, senior quarterback for the Presidents, in the shotgun. He hands off the middle of the field to Leo Steinberg. Steinberg will get stopped at the 45.
To the 45. Second and 8 for the Presidents.
Wildcat. Quarterback change. We got a Wildcat.
Yeah, Gavin O'Hare comes in to bring the play into the huddle. And Ala will receive the snap.
Good
Ala
block
trying to turn
right
aside, gets across the
there.
45-yard line up to the
Excellent
40.
block.
And we'll finally get brought down now at the Lions' 37-yard line. Great run there by Jonas Ala.
Great block to spring him to the outside too as well.
Presidents first down. Into Lions territory. Ball
Right
is spotted
there.
at the 37-yard line of
Jaden Parks. Tremendous block to bust him down the sideline. To bust Jonas down. No mystery with the Wildcat, right? I mean, here it comes. Great play call by Coach.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 37 now. Steinberg this time over to the right, gets up to 35, and he took a big hit there from Dugan.
Steinberg on the carry.
Big hit there by number 21. Good safety run in the alley there. Put a good hit on Leo.
All right, spot him down at the 34.
Pick up 3. 2nd and 7 for the Presidents.
Steinberg goes way over to the left. Pass quickly thrown, and it's complete. That's Jalen Parks on the catch for the Presidents. He gets up to the 30-yard line, maybe the 29.
3rd and 1, 2.
Actually, I think that was JoJo Ham on the catch, excuse me.
Spot the ball at the 29. With the pickup of 6. 3rd and 2 for the Presidents.
Could you get another full house here? Yeah. Full house backfield.
All right, 3rd down and 2.
Oh, boy.
Oh, and ball comes loose.
Chelmsford
And
has
Chelmsford's
it.
going to get it.
Chelmsford has the ball.
Miscommunication on the snap count there. And the Presidents turn it over. Tough break there for Quincy.
That's a killer. That's a momentum killer right there. Quincy had a ton of momentum coming down the field. Oh, God. It had to be the set. I don't want to say whose problem, but no one moved, right? The ball was snapped and nobody moved.
28-yard line of Chelmsford.
Ah.
All right, so they spot the ball to Chelmsford 28. All right, so tough miscommunication there for the Presidents. We'll see if the defense can come out now and get the ball back.
Chelmsford might try to open this up here. Offsides.
Yeah.
Okay.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
That'll make it 1st and 15.
All right, so 1st and 15 now instead for the Lions, back at their 23.
I don't think it changes the play call here. I think you're running with the same. Whatever you were gonna do, you're gonna still do it.
And Moriel will keep it himself, running right up the middle of the field, and he's going to be close to the first down.
What a push by the offensive line there.
Close to the 40.
See here, he just ran straight up the middle of the field, waited for some holes to open up, and then he gets going.
They're calling it a Lions first down.
Gavin O'Hare and Aiden Cordero come up to make the tackle,
Up Chelmsford.
all the way up to the 38. First down for the Lions.
They're going quick.
De Jesus on the carry now, crosses the 40 to the 41.
Jesus on the carry across the 40. To the 41. It's a pick up of 3. Second and 7 for the Lions.
Moriel's pass
Good
gets
D.
tipped at the line of scrimmage. We'll see if it was a backwards pass or not,
Good
and
defense.
they're going to say no, it was a forward pass. Great effort there by the Presidents to continue on that play in case it was.
Great knockdown by Jonas right there.
And it was a forward pass, but not by much.
Third and 7 for the Lions.
.37 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Anthony Moriello, Presidents come with a blitz. Moriello passes downfield, has a man, and it
what a
is
ball.
incomplete. Nolan Smith couldn't hold on to it. If he had, it would have been a big touchdown.
Tell you what, that was the best ball of the day right there. Rolled out to his right, set his feet and threw an absolute strike down the sideline. That was the best ball of the day.
He got hit as he threw the ball
Wow.
as well. Matt Powers, who was the man blitzing. So a great pass, just Chelmsford cannot hold on to it. So the Presidents catch a break there.
Tell you what, they're not scared either. They went right after Steinberg. They the best defender that Quincy has. They went right after him. They weren't scared. Fair catch. Nope.
All right, Quincy, it takes a huge bounce there in Chelmsford's favor. And it's going to go all the way down to the 8-yard line.
All right, so listen, the turnover hurts because of where you turned it over and you had the momentum, but you didn't give up any points. You got a punt. Yeah, it took a bad bounce, but you get the ball back again, and you probably got one play and then the start of the fourth quarter. And that's why you're here, so let's see what happens.
All right, spot it down at the 9-yard line. .20 seconds to go in the quarter.
Full house. This is interesting.
Connell gives it to Steinberg. Steinberg jumps over a man just to get some positive yardage there. Great job by Leo Steinberg, and spot him down at the 13.
All right, John, we're going to the start of the fourth quarter.
See here in the replay, right there, he was able to jump over the defender and fight his way forward for the 4-yard gain. So as you said, Steve, that is the end of the third quarter play here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Chelmsford leads the Presidents by a score of 12-7. And the Presidents will have a 2nd down and 6 as we go down to the south end of the field.
I mean, you really can't be upset if you're Quincy High. You'd like to have the lead, of course, comfortably. But Chelmsford's a good team. We said at the top of the show that they're a good team. They play a really good schedule. They're probably not a real 10 seed. And if you told Quincy that they had a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter, I think they would have been ecstatic about it. So here we are.
We mentioned Chelmsford coming into the game with a record of 4-4, lost to Bishop Feenan, Andover, Tewksbury, and Lowell. So some pretty good teams that they're up on the North Shore there, and the Merrimack Valley Conference that they lost to. And again, Bishop Feenan, the team that either Quincy or Chelmsford will be facing in the next round, the number 2 seed in Division II.
Coach DeWitt's in there firing them up right now. I love it. Coach DeWitt is, coached at the college level and coached at high school and stuff like that, but he was a heck of a player too, I'll tell you that. He was a heck of an offensive lineman, and he was an intense player. He wore his emotions on his sleeve, and he brings that to this team now. He's just as fired up as any kid wearing a blue uniform tonight, no doubt about it.
All right, 2nd down and 6 for the Presidents.
Wildcat.
So Aller again, he'll take the direct snap. And nice effort here by the Lions this time. We're not fooled on that play. They came up to bring him down, and it's going to be a loss of a yard or 2 on the play.
Are you looking at 3rd and 7 now? No gain, 3rd and 6.
All right, so Aller was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 6. Connell fakes the handoff. Looking downfield, has a man, and it's caught. Jalen Parks has some space to run.
Keep running, kid. Go down.
Trying to fight his way forward. Hold on to that ball. He does. And he finally gets pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Great job there by the Presidents.
Great play call right there. They run everybody away and then run someone right behind them. It's a great play call to get everybody going to the right and then sneak someone out to the left. Looked like the backside, I think he was playing the backside wing or the backside tight end, or excuse me, the front side wing or the front side tight end. And he just snuck to the weak side. So great play call right there.
Quincy.
Spot him down at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Presidents.
I thought he gained more yards than that.
Parks the man in motion. They give it to Alla. And Alla's going to get met immediately by a number of Lions. Looks like getting off the bottom of the pile there was Alexander Glennie, the junior, come in to make the tackle. And
the Quincy High coaching staff is fired up about something, boy.
no gain on the play for the Presidents. 2nd down and 10. Steinberg on the carry, and he's met in the backfield again. Ball came loose, it looked like, but the Presidents were able to jump on it. And we'll see where they spot the forward progress. And again, it's going to be back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 10.
And I thought the ball came loose, but it did not. So Steinberg just did get back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. O'Connell looking to pass, comes out of the pocket, running himself, gets up to the 45-yard line, and will be brought down there. 4th down now for the Presidents.
John, do you fake punt here?
Oh man, it's kind of tough call there, right at midfield here.
Well, here's the problem. How many more possessions are you going to get?
Right. Well, it looks like they're just going to go for it.
I think you have to, right? Maybe
Yeah.
a timeout and talk about it.
Well, they're going to be coming up on 8 minutes to go in the quarter, and
You-
Coach DeWitt.
You're not going to get many possessions. Maybe one more, I would say. Two max? I don't know.
Well, you're counting on maybe a 3 and out, and
Have
can't
they
count
done-
on a 3 and out.
Have they done that yet?
Exactly right. Yeah. So, all right,
Chel-
4th
Chelsea's
down and about
offense too
4
good.
now for the Presidents. O'Connell looking
Got
down the
him.
middle of the field. Wide open is Jonas
Daddy.
Aller at the 25-yard line, cuts back up the middle of the field.
Go down.
And will finally get brought down inside the 10. 1st and goal for the Presidents.
What a great call by Coach DeWitt. Tremendous call. Jonas just ran the seam. That's all he did. He just ran the seam. He ran right by the linebackers, split the safeties, and O'Connell delivered a great ball.
Looks like Aller will get up to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal now for the Presidents.
I was looking for a fake punt. I guess that's why I'm in the booth, John.
Well, we'll take a 50-yard
Good
gain instead.
Lord. Stick to baseball, kid. Here we go.
All right, come up with a full house. Fans getting loud here in the stands. Aller with the ball over to the right side, fighting his way
He's
forward.
in.
Touchdown, Jonas Aller. The Presidents take the lead, 13-12, with a point after the come.
What a game this kid's having. What a game Jonas Aller is having.
President down on the field. I think it's just a cramp here, as he's getting helped by one of his
I
teammates.
mean, I'm cramping up here. This is unbelievable. What a game.
So that touchdown again set up by the big 4th down play for the Presidents. A 47-yard pass and catch from O'Connell to Aller. Gets all the way down to the 7-yard line. And then Aller takes it in on the next play for the touchdown. Aller, 73 yards rushing and a touchdown. Also 71 yards receiving. And it was big number 64 for the Presidents, Chris Young, who's going to come out. And I think the Presidents might have called a timeout here, Steve.
So, did they call a timeout?
I'm looking to the scoreboard. It still says 3 timeouts apiece, but
If they did call a timeout, it's so Chris Young can play the down.
yeah, and I don't know. The referee just blew the whistle, so the President's going to have to hustle out here to make sure they don't get a delay of game now.
Are they going for 2?
And yeah, they're going to go for 2 here. Under 10 seconds to go. Hopefully the Presidents realize this. Oh, they don't. They need to call a timeout. They don't have an extra man on the field. And we're going to have a delay of game here, Steve, and we do.
Delay game.
President's coaching staff is coming out and asking what's going on, but
A little confusion right now.
I say still slow down here. Again, the referee just blew the whistle, so the play clock has started. Again, now under 10 seconds to go here. And they do get the play off. O'Connell pass is
Picked off.
intercepted.
Oh,
And it's
Can't
going to be a
return
dead
it. Can't
ball.
return
Yeah,
it. Can't
dead
return
ball
it.
in high school. Which is a
Okay.
good thing because he had a wide
Okay.
open field for 2 points.
no. Nothing but green grass. Okay. minutes. You get the lead with 7 minutes left. Right? You get the lead with 7 minutes left. You need to stop. You need to hold this high-powered Chelmsford offense to a stop. Doesn't have to be 3 and out. They just can't score. That starts with a kickoff.
All right, 7:02 to go here in the game. O'Connell will get ready to kick it deep now for the Presidents. Short kick going to be fielded by De Jesus at the 25-yard line.
That's not a hold. There
And
you
flag
go.
thrown on the
Come
play.
There is a penalty marker.
Return team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down Chelmsford.
Holding against the Lions. 10-yard spot foul.
And good call, Steve, as you said. He called for the hold there. Malcolm McMorrow trying to go for the tackle. And all right, so back to 27 it goes. Six minutes and 57 seconds Chelmsford has. And keeping himself as the quarterback, Anthony Moriello, the senior, gets across the 40 to the 42.
No penalties. No penalties. No penalties.
Calls his own number
That's the biggest thing right here, right now.
to the 42
No
yard
penalties.
line.
Don't give them anything for free.
Lions first
They earn it, they earn it. Don't give them anything for free. Coach got to dial up some blitzes too. Don't just sit back in that defense. Do what's been working. Here they come.
And Moriello's going to keep it again, has to bounce to the outside, stumbles. And getting over there is Steinberg, maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
What do we got?
player shaken up.
More cramps.
Gain of 1 yard. 2nd and 9 for the Lions.
Looks like it was
More-
Will Cannon, number
Yeah,
44.
More cramping.
That's number 44, Will Cannon. Let's hope he's okay.
He's jogging off, sir. Good Lord.
All right, ball at the 43-yard line. And clock will start to tick down. And as we now go under 6 minutes to play here in the game.
Got to play focused, sound defense right here.
2nd down and 9. Presidents come with the blitz. And
Great
job
tackle.
there. Matt Powers comes
Great
up
job
with a
right
great
there.
play.
Matty Powers with a tremendous, tremendous play right there. That's a huge tackle.
Back to the 40-yard line. And actually make it down to 41 where they say he went down with
better-
forward progress.
You better have Gray and Dugan on lock right here. This is who they're going to. Those are their guys.
3 receivers down to the right of the field.
Get back in the play.
Moriello,
Get back in
and
the
he's going to
play.
get
There
sacked
you
butt down
go.
there by the Presidents. Jalen Parks coming up there, also number 55, Aiden McElhaney. As you see here in the replay,
Great job by Parks not giving up. He was out of it, and then you get back in the play. It's a great job by Parks right there.
great double team there. Spot the ball back at the 39.
Sure you got 11 out there, Coach. Count them up.
So 4th and 13, and they're going to kick it away. And no, it's a fake punt.
It's a fake.
And let's see if the Presidents
it's
can hold
a
it. They
first
cannot.
down.
First down for the Lions, going all the way up in the Presidents' territory, still on his feet. All the way up to the 30-yard line. President's completely caught off guard there.
30-yard line of the Presidents.
And there's a man down the field for the Presidents. And catching that ball was Krista Roches for the Lions.
It's a huge call in this game.
That's number 5.
Nate Allen coming off the field.
Listen, that's a gutsy call by Chelmsford, right? The fake punt on 4th and long, John. It wasn't 4th and 2. That was 4th and long. It's a gutsy call by them. Well, back to work. That's all. Back to work.
All right, 4:23 to go. Handoff, De Jesus. Fighting his way forward up to about the 27-yard line.
No penalties. No penalties. No penalties. Can't give them free yards.
Forward progress to the 26.
All right, mark him down to 26-yard line.
They're close to field goal territory here.
2nd and 6 for the Lions.
My advanced scouting says that they got a pretty good kickers.
All right, man in motion. Moriello keeps it himself over to the left side now. Picks up the first down up to the 25-yard line and finally pushed out of bounds.
Phone number inside the 20, inside the 15.
They're winding it?
Play is a Lion first down.
Wow, okay. They're winding it.
All right, ball at the 15-yard line. Actually, it's making the 14-yard line. And the clock is winding. 3:15 now to go here in the game. De Jesus on the carry, right up the middle of the field, up to the 5-yard line, fighting his way forward, and
Inside the
looks like he's going to be just shy of the first down.
2nd and 1, if that. Oh, they dropped the markers.
It is 1st and goal.
Oh.
1st and goal. Here we go.
All right, so they spot him down at the 4-yard line. 1st and goal from the 4. Moriello keeps it himself over to the right side, and he's going to get hit. Big tackle there by the Presidents.
Timeout, timeout, timeout,
Jalen
timeout.
Parks comes up to make the tackle.
2nd and goal. Ball's at the 4-yard line.
I mean, if you're Quincy, you got to kind of play for them scoring, right? That's why Coach DeWitt's calling a timeout there, to try to give your offense as much time as possible.
Now, DeWitt ran down the sideline to get the referee's attention and call that timeout.
It's a great high school football game, John. It's a tremendous playoff game right here.
Looks like the ball is at the, trying to see if it's at the 4 or the
6?
5. I think
5?
all right, the clock stops with the President's timeout. 2:26 to go now here in the game.
And again, the reason Quincy High is calling timeouts is if on the unforeseen incident that Chelmsford scores, you have to give your offense enough time to get down the field and score. Big second down right here.
All right, ball's at the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
DeJesus.
And the Presidents might have jumped off sides here,
Come on.
and they did. So move it up to the 2-yard line.
Half the distance,
Half
right?
the distance to the goal against the Presidents.
Come on, fellas.
2nd and goal. From inside the 2.
See here, ball just inside the 2-yard line. Moriello in the shotgun, gives it to DeJesus. He's back in the backfield and brought down. No, he's not brought down. Still trying to fight his way. Matt Powers came in there to stop him.
Timeout, Quincy High.
And the Presidents do call a timeout.
No gain on the play. That was number 2.
Okay,
Scott
John.
DeJesus on the carry.
John, it's 3rd down.
3rd and goal.
Let's say they don't score on 3rd down. You're Chelmsford. Field goal?
Oh, man, good question. I don't know.
You have to, don't you? You got to take the lead.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean,
It's so easy from up here, I can tell you that. It is so easy from up here, man. This is a huge down. Oh, boy.
all right, again, Presidents have called their 2nd timeout. 3rd and goal from the 2. Matt Powers did a great job coming in to make that tackle. Will Cannon came in as well.
Here we go. The sold-out crowd here at Veterans is going crazy.
Moriello gets the snap, runs up the middle of the field, and touchdown.
Yes, he is in.
Chelmsford gets the 6 points. Moriello on the 2nd, maybe 3rd effort, was able to fight his way in and cross the goal line.
Great effort right here. Gets stood up right away and just pushes his way in. Tremendous 2nd effort by the quarterback right there. Timeout, Chelmsford. Up by 5. Gotta go for 2, no?
All right, so like I said, up by 5. I would imagine they're going to go for 2 to try and make it the touchdown. Seeing the screen there, talking to the defense.
Coach Paul Carson. Tremendous defensive coordinator. All
right, Lions come out. Moriello in the shotgun, DeJesus to his left. Oriole pass,
underneath.
and it's picked off by the Presidents. Great job there. Great reading that play was Leo Steinberg. So the pass goes incomplete, and the Presidents keep it to 5. As you see, Steinberg just dropped out of there.
Yeah, got into his drop zone and just picked it off. Great job. Tremendous job. All right, here we go, John.
All right, so the Presidents have 1 timeout and 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go down the field. Of course, we'll see what happens on the kickoff as well.
I mean, if you're Chelmsford, you have to kick it deep, right? So they have to go the length of the field. But with Leo and Jonas back there, you got 2 game breakers. You got to be careful.
The Steinberg and Aller are back deep. Jalen Parks and Gavin O'Hare.
Number 17, Patrick.
Darrell Wright also up in the middle for the Presidents. Nate Allen.
Deep to receive. Number 1, Leo Steinberg. Number 2, Jonas Aller.
All right, here we go.
All right, Patrick McConnell will kick it away for the Lions. Kicks it high and deep. At the 15-yard line is Jonas Alla. Trying to turn the corner, and he does. Across the 25-yard line, and will get pushed out of bounds at the 29.
Okay, so take it. 70 yards. 71 yards. John, no penalties. No penalties. No penalties. You can't afford a 10-yard holding right here. Can't afford an offsides.
I'm sure it's what the coaches are down the sideline telling the team as well. Make sure you, especially no false starts, no holding if we can here.
Nothing
And
free. Nothing free.
all right, exciting first round game in the MIA Division II football playoffs. We'll come down to the wire here. 2:04 to go at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Presidents have it 1st and 10 from their own 29. Olive passing downfield, and it is for JoJo Ham. Did he hold on to it? No! A great effort at the end there by Gable Gray to get the ball out of the hands of Ham. Wow.
Reverse pass? That's beautiful. He took a whack too, boy. Wow.
Ham had it, and at the last second, Gray was able to reach in and knock that ball away. Sandala in motion. Connell trying to get away, and he gets hit up high.
Whoa. No, nothing? Clock's winding, boys. Let's go.
All right, back at the 25-yard line.
Clock's winding, boys.
O'Connell will get brought down here.
Loss of 4 on the play.
And
3rd and 14 for the Presidents.
close to a clothesline there, but no penalty. O'Connell passes, gets tipped. He catches it himself, Steve. See if he can run it here. O'Connell still has some space, still on his feet at the 30-yard line, and
Good
will
job
get
to
up to
get
the 32.
Oh, man. We got a little bit of everything tonight. This field seems to bring the best out of us, doesn't it? Good
Wow, O'Connell's
Lord.
pass goes right back to him.
Kid had the presence of mind to come this way, get what he could, and then get out of bounds. 4th down. The whole game is right here, John. 4th and 7, 6. The whole game is right here.
All right, ball at the 33-yard line.
Man to man.
O'Connell looking. Trying to get out of harm's way, and he's going to get brought down, and a big sack by the Lions. All the way back to the 16-yard line. See here in the replay as O'Connell was trying to look downfield, nothing down there, and Michael Canada comes up with the pressure and the sack. 1:07 to go here in the game.
Victory formation now.
Say Presidents have one timeout remaining.
Yeah, they can just knee it. That's it.
Morello takes a knee.
And Presidents will not call timeout. One more snap for the Lions, and they'll be moving on here in the tournament.
And Morello takes a knee again. And that's going to do it. Final score.
So an exciting game here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and the Lions come out with just a couple extra plays, and they're going to move on. Again, a tough loss here for the Presidents as their season will come to an end. The playoff season will come to an end with an 18-13 defeat at the hand of the Chelmsford Lions.
Listen, it was a great game, and Quincy High played well. You know, we talked about Chelmsford not really being a 10 seed, not really being a 4-4 team, and being much better than that. And listen, at the end of the day, they're a good team. You know what I mean? Quincy played well. Quincy played well, and Chelmsford played well. You know, unfortunately it's just the way it goes. You know, you get 4th and long, and they get a fake punt on you. It hurts. It hurts, but it's something that happens, and you know that's the way it goes.
So really, yeah, it really comes down to that one big play there on 4th down where the Presidents just really, just got fooled, got tricked, and execution was done by the Lions on a big 4th down play, and go down the field and get the touchdown to take the lead. And so tough break here as the Presidents will lose at home in the playoffs. Had a lot of anticipation for this game. Presidents again started out 5-0, had a great opening season, and finished with 6-2, and we're certainly had earned this home game, and we're looking forward to it. And just a couple plays go against them in this game, and again their championship season will come to an end as they're losing the first round here of the Division II playoffs.
Listen, it's never fun to lose, right? You know, it stinks to lose, and it stings. It really stings. These guys played well, and listen, the season is far from over. They got a couple games left, and you know, you all know about Thanksgiving, and you can turn it around right there. But listen, these guys played hard. They have nothing to hang their hats about. They have nothing to be upset about. The kids played hard. They beat on a trick play. You know what I mean? And no penalties tonight, right? They have a couple penalties, no big 15-yarders. They didn't get beat up by a team that has guys that play on one side of the ball when they play on both sides of the ball. They didn't quit. They were in until the very end, and you know it's tough. It's tough to spin it because it hurts right now, and you know it's going to leave a sour taste in your mouth, but. If you're a sophomore or if you're a junior, this is where you want to get back to. This is the team you build off of. And if you're a senior, just 2 seasons ago, John, 2 seasons ago, they were in turmoil. This team was in complete turmoil. Not knowing who their coach was going to be or who their coach was. Arguing every night, yelling at each other every night, getting blown out every single Friday night. The senior class has completely turned this program around, and they have nothing to be upset about.
All right, real quick, we'll run down some stats. First for Chelmsford, quarterback Anthony Moriello, 10 of 18 passing, 149 yards and 1 touchdown and 1 interception as well. Sky De Jesus led the way on the ground, 13 attempts for 94 yards. Anthony Moriello had 66 yards and a touchdown on the ground for the Lions, and Joseph Nordigan had 1 carry for a touchdown. Through the air, leading the way was Nolan Smith with 4 catches for 58 yards. Gable Gray had 2 catches for 37 yards. Krista Rocha had 1 catch for 31 yards. Nate Dugan had 2 catches for 21 yards. Gable Gray had a touchdown as well for Chelmsford.
I'm calling him Duggan again.
Braden O'Connell, switching over now to the Presidents. Braden O'Connell, the quarterback, 11 of 16 passing for 47 yards. Jonas Alla had 73 yards rushing and a touchdown. Leo Steinberg, 40 yards rushing and a touchdown. O'Connell had 22 yards on the ground as well. Alla had 3 catches for 68 yards. Parks had 3 catches for 31. Jojo Ham, 3 catches for 18. And Steinberg, 1 catch for 8 yards as well for the Presidents. So as you see the Lions celebrating on the field, and they'll have to head back to the North Shore, and the Presidents will have to get ready for next week. They'll have a non-playoff game, and then, in the back of their minds, will be thinking, of course, on Thanksgiving morning against North Quincy for coming up and getting ready for that as well.
Yeah, there's nobody on that field right now that's thinking of anything past the next 10 minutes. But when you flush it and you put it past you and you put it behind you and you go from there, you go on to the next one.
Word off the North Shore as well. North Quincy lost to Winchester, so they'll be having a non-playoff game next week as well. We don't know what our schedule is for QATV. We'll be waiting for Sunday afternoon when the full schedule comes out for next week. So please stay tuned to QATV.org and our Facebook page as well for program schedules and the football schedule, to see what will be happening here next week at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Real quick, I want to thank all of our crew that came out here and did a great job here today. Our director on replay was Peter Doherty. On graphics was Anna El Torre. Our engineer, Chris Potter. On audio, Frank Hart. And on camera, Ryan McWade, Michael Merrick, and Brian Cox was down on the field for us here tonight. So again, final score here at Veterans Memorial Stadium in the first round of the Division II playoffs. Chelmsford will move on with an 18-13 victory over the Presidents. For Steve Mays, my name is Jonathan Caleri. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of QATV Sports. We'll see you next time.